Hey guys, what's going on? Tyrauku here. And if you've been active today, really whatsoever in the raid community, then you'll probably have heard that we have a fusion coming up next week. So for the past few days, people have been saying, I wonder when we're going to have a new fusion. This is so weird. Raid doesn't have a new fusion. We have a 2x plus 10x Mashald and Duchess. We have this Ancient Shard event going on. There has to be a new fusion coming up soon, right? And there's a lot of speculation this fusion is going to be really good. Well, turns out the fusion, well, from first look, doesn't seem to be amazing. Now, I do want to go over this. I did have a video made earlier today. I ended up just deleting the video. I didn't think the video was going to be very beneficial to you guys, and I wasn't really happy with it. So I wanted to go ahead and post on my YouTube channel, my YouTube community feed. What do you guys think of the Fusion Champion? Are you going to go for her? Yada, yada. All right. I listed all the abilities and everything and posted the picture. The picture looks good. Raid's aesthetics of champions look pretty good majority of the time, right? So we already probably agree on that. Now, most of the comments down here were basically people saying that they're not very interested in going for this champion. She doesn't seem very good, and that she seems like a safe option to skip. Now, there was one that I thought was pretty interesting, Rod Clark, so shout out to Rod. He says that she's going to surprise a lot of folks, and that she's probably be a leader in the arena for people before they get Arbiter, which is a very good point because she's going to have a 24% speed lead in the arena. So that'll definitely make sense. You can have another speed booster somewhere else, maybe run a Seeker in the second spot or something, but you could have her as the lead for the nice speed boost, which is very nice. And also he mentions that she has some good synergies with Duchess, Siphi, and Arbiter. So basically any res champion. So definitely, whenever you're looking at her champion, we'll go through all of her stuff. And initially when I was looking at her, I was thinking, okay, A1 ability, attacks all enemies, has a 25% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed. Now this will probably be able to be booked for a higher percentage chance to place decreased speed, or at least I would hope, but 25% kind of feels bad. If we get it booked up higher, this could be pretty good, but obviously we don't know what her books are going to bring, so this could make a big difference, okay? Some of these abilities may be booked down to much lower cooldowns, because right now they're both 6-turn cooldowns, which is very, very long. So hopefully these have some pretty impactful books on this champion, and hopefully she doesn't require a ton. But currently, this doesn't look that good. I definitely agree. So before we get into these, like I said, the A1 ability, attacks all enemies, throw her in a stun set, give her good accuracy, she could do good in Faction Wars, right? Well, ideally, yes, and amazing. So there's a lot of champions who you will use in Faction Wars with this exact same thing. So like Skullcrown, Sinesha, any champion with an AoE ability works very good in a stun set. However, she's a Night Revenant Force champion, okay? The most difficult stages are the Valkyrie stages typically, and I believe for Night Revs, the Valk stages are on stage 21, so you have a Force Affinity champion going to stage 21 possibly, so it may not be the best fit. However, I don't think this necessarily, and we'll go over her skills, I don't think that her skills, while she doesn't seem to be the best champion, if you have the resources saved and it's not going completely out of your way, I don't think it's a bad idea to go for her, to be honest, because there's a lot of fusion champions that we've had recently that when they come out, they don't seem amazing, but after using them, then people start finding, oh, this champion's amazing in this, and this area. Like, looking at her passive, fully heals the ally with the lowest HP whenever this champion is killed. Heals all allies by 20% of their max HP and fills the turn meter by 15% whenever this champion is revived. Just think of an idea right off the top of my head. This may not even work, but just an idea. So Godseeker Aniri. Her passive ability is, if an ally is about to get hit by a fatal hit, preempts that hit and instantly places a revival and death buff on them for 1 turn before the damage is taken. So what I'm thinking is that if you were to run this champion pretty squishy and she got killed by an enemy and she was on the same team as Godseeker, then she's going to instantly res. She's going to heal all allies by 20% of their max HP and fill their turn meters by 15%. So this may not be amazing, but it could possibly be decent in like a Ghost Second Arena team. Like I said, this is just spitballing an idea. It may or may not even work, but that's just kind of the idea that I had because Godseeker could possibly synergize with this champion decent. So I definitely think that if you have the resources, if it's not super difficult, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and go for this champion. And I think that's kind of my thought process on majority of fusion champions. If it's not going to put you out of your way too much and you can kind of save resources now, plan to go for them. However, with this classic fusion where you have to get the 4 different epics and all the rares and build them all up, there very well may be some very, very good epic champions that come out. And if there are, maybe it's worth picking up 1 or 2 of those and not even worrying about the fusion. But we don't know what those are going to be yet. In the next few days, we should probably next week sometime, we'll get that information. And when we do, I'll share my opinion on those. But also, I don't have access to the test server yet. So whenever she becomes available to the test server, I won't be able to try her out much. So I won't be able to tell you, well, I won't be able to try her out at all. So I won't be able to tell you that information. You can watch some of the content creators who do have access there. And you can also subscribe to this channel. So then I can get access to it, because once I get to 8,000 subscribers, I can get access to the test server as well. And we'll be doing the account giveaway that I have a few videos ago. I'll have that linked to the end of this video if you guys want to check that out. So thank you all very much for that. If you do subscribe, and don't forget to like the video. So let's go ahead and read through our abilities. So the A1 attacks all enemies, has a chance to place a decreased speed and boost your turn meter by 15%. For A2, places a revival on death and a 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. Now, it kind of feels weird back-to-back fusions that are both night revs, and both of them do increased defense, which is kind of odd, but I'm not using this guy anyways, so maybe some of you are. I haven't seen anything crazy with him. I know he hits fairly hard, apparently, so I may build him up sometime soon, but I haven't yet. Now, his A3 swaps, or her A3 swaps HP with an ally. If this champion's HP is equal to or higher than the target's after the swap, fills this champion's turn meter by 40%, places a 30% increased speed buff on this champion for 2 turns, and places a block damage on the target ally for 1 turn, okay? So if the ally has a lower HP, she's going to block damage on them, give herself the buffs. If she has the lowest HP after the swap, she's going to place block damage on herself and give the ally the buffs, okay? So right here says the same thing. If this champion's HP is lower than the target's after the swap, fills the target's turn meter, so basically the same thing. It just swapped, okay? It's a little bit convoluted if you read through it, and it's like, well, what's going on? But then at the end, it says also places 2 15% continuous heal buffs on this champion for 2 turns. So overall, I'm not going to lie, her kit seems mediocre and doesn't seem amazing. However, we do have some new Doom Tower bosses coming out. We don't know her base stats. I would say we don't know her multipliers, but it's only on her A1. Nothing else does damage, so her multipliers don't even matter. But she could come out, as somebody mentioned in the YouTube comments down here, somebody said that she could come out with like crazy high base stats. I could have sworn I'd seen that. My comment, she could come out with like 110 speed and 27,000 HP. Boom. Obvious answer for maybe 3v3 arena. Put her in her shield set. So who knows? We're not really going to know that information until she's released in the index. And once that happens, we'll know a little bit more. But I do think that while on paper she may not seem like an amazing champion, if you've been saving your resources, I don't think you should go ahead and start spending them. I think you should plan to probably go for her or one of the epics in the fusion, because there's nothing worse than skipping somebody and then realizing down the road, oh crap, this champion was actually really, really good, and I wish I got him. I mean, it's a guaranteed legendary, okay? I got Pixneal back when she was a fusion. She's still garbage. She definitely is, but they're talking about possibly buffing her. So had you skipped Pixneal back then, thinking that she was going to be a bad champion, and you wouldn't be wrong, she is a bad champion still. But if she buffs her, she may go through the Candrafon treatment, where Candrafon used to not be used at all, and now he's top tier arena defense, okay? Now, I'm not saying this champion's going to come out even needing a buff, but I am saying this champion may come out being a lot better than what she looks like on paper, okay? Now, definitely don't get me wrong, this champion doesn't seem to be crazy, okay? The 24% speed aura, like some people down here mentioned, does seem to be the best part of her kit, but who knows? Maybe the next Doom Tower boss, the one that somebody mentioned also down below, maybe the boss that takes your one of your allies and then you have to kill the ally before it's swapped, maybe on that boss, Revival and Death is like super clutch and a very good ability. There's not a ton of champions in the game who place Revival and Death. So having this champion with the Revival and Death, couldn't get that out for a second, my goodness. But placing Revival and Death from this champion could be something amazing, okay? So keep that in mind. We won't know about the new Doom Tower for a little while. I think it's the next rotation, but I'm not 100% sure. I didn't fully see that confirmed anywhere. So guys, if you do know, let me know down below. If Doom Tower 3 is next rotation, I would love to know. If they're going back to the other rotation, I'm also interested in knowing. But either way, I think she may have some uses for there. Granted, the other argument is maybe you don't want to go for a champion for a fusion in the hopes that she may be useful somewhere down the road, possibly, right? Don't put yourself in a bad position. Also, don't skip out on a potential legendary if you have the resources saved up already, and it's not going to hurt you too much. So keep that in mind, guys. Also, wait for some videos to come out. People are going to be testing her, showing off a little bit more. I'm going to go for her. So as soon as I get her, I'll show you guys the video. I'll showcase what I can do with her, and I'll be thinking of some ideas and testing her out for some different areas. So guys, thank you all very much for watching this video. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of a perspective and maybe gives you a few more ideas that could possibly work with this champion. Feel free to link anything down below, well, post anything down below that you think she may be useful for just off of seeing her kit right off the bat. So thank you all again, and I hope to catch you in the next video.